Hey friends, don't look at my hair. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and today we're making massive quantities of broth for canning. Vegetable broth from Scraps. Now here are my scraps. This is almost totally bean tops and ends. This is some bean tops, some old garlic, but it's mostly pickling cucumbers that weren't good enough for canning. Here is 2 bags of celery ends. I've got 4 onions. Let me just start throwing this stuff in the crocks, okay? These onions are starting to go soft, so I just want to throw, I got 2 canners here. I'm going to throw an onion in each one, or a couple onions. I'm going to throw a whole head of garlic in each one. This is celery that was just left over from chopping. And these are green onions that were kind of going wild, so I'm going to throw them in to each one. These 3-4 carrots, these were, somebody left them on the table and they were going black because they were in a plastic bag, so I peeled them and they're going in there. 2 in each. These are my leftover vegetables from when we went on vacation. These are what's left over all the trays we had. I'm going to try my best to divide these leftover veg into each pot. In case you're wondering, when I dehydrate or I can vegetables, all the stuff that I can't dehydrate or can, I wash and I put in the freezer just for this purpose. Here are my beans. The bean bits, the top of the bag has a couple of ends of tomatoes in it. So I happen to have an end of this morning's breakfast to put in that one. Lettuce. Alright, let's get our pickling cucumbers in here. And bits of garlic and stuff. Half a bag there. Half a bag there. And finally, now, you guys have seen how much celery I do and did. I have more. I have another one of these bags in the freezer. Why? Because I'm going to be doing carrots soon, and I want to do, I want to save some of the celery. I want to save some of the celery pieces for when I do carrots and for when I butcher my chickens, so that I can put them in the broth for the meat. Now, you can see these canners. Now I got to do this now. I would have liked to have waited, but I got to do this now because my freezers are getting overloaded with these bags. Alright, so here it is. There's 1. There's 2. It's not just celery. You saw all the things I put in that. I'm gonna put almost a full stock pot of water on this because I want a full stock pot of broth. And I think I'm gonna put 2 stock pots in each one. Now I don't always put a lot of salt in here, but I'm used to broth that you buy in the store having salt in it. So I'm going to put, I don't know, 3 tablespoons of salt. Make sure you use pink Himalayan sea salt or, of course, pickling salt. Don't use table salt. It has additives. So a stock pot and a half. Remember, you got to remove all this vegetable, right? Oh, and there's racks in the bottom of these canners. They've been scrubbed and rinsed, and there's racks on the bottom to keep the vegetables from scorching on the bottom and making your broth taste bad. Alright, as soon as these spout, as soon as this starts to spout a steady stream of steam, I'm going to vent it for just a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to put the 10-pound weight on. Now, unlike canning, we don't spout a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes. Why? Because it's 3/4 full. You don't fill these canners any more than 3/4 full. But this has been spouting a steady stream of steam for about 1.5 minutes. And my bobble is up, which means it's sealed. So I'm going to put my weight on. And the moment that starts to jiggle, I'm going to start timing this for 40 minutes. We're just about to have our first vigorous jiggle. And this one's just starting to vent steam, but not strong enough to push the air out and the bobble up yet. There's our first vigorous jiggle, and now I'm going to turn it down just to between minimum and maximum. Whoops, sorry about the steam. Because we want it to continue that gentle rocking motion for about 40 minutes. Okay, folks, these have been cooking steadily for 40 minutes to an hour. So now we're just going to shut them off and let them cool down naturally till they get to the point where I can open them and strain them. Alrighty, our canners are, if not cooled down, at least we're able to open them, and I want to strain them into stock pots so that I can clean the canners so that we can can the broth. Always, folks, never rapid cool your canner, and always open it away from yourself because of the steam. All right? Oh my God, that's beautiful broth. And it smells so good. It smells so good. I think I'm going to have too much water for just this. With a measuring cup first, because this is a lot of liquid. This is a gorgeous amber color. Yeah, this is a lot of broth, folks. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Because this is a gold mine when it comes to making, chicken and rice, or if you want to rehydrate vegetables, you cook them in broth because, you're rehydrating them with double nutrition, right? Okay, folks, as you can see, this is my tallest canner and it is full of vegetable broth. Time to start canning. Okay, here is my first pressure canner. That one's full of broth, and so's this stock pot. This is my first pressure canner with the required amount, about 3 inches or 3 liters of water with a shot of vinegar to keep my jars from clouding. Now, canning broth is really simple, folks, especially when it's vegetable broth. It's real simple. You just fill it up. Look at the beautiful, beautiful color of this broth. And I'm going to fill it up right up to about a ½ inch from the top. No need to debubble, but we do need to always, 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 always wipe your rims. Ouch, ouch, ouch. My lids and rings are in really hot water. So there. Look at that color. I estimate I'm going to have somewhere between 15 and 20 quarts of this broth. All right, so we'll be back when I have my canners full. Make sure that's, if the lid seems to go on to tighten down too quick, always double check, make sure you don't have 2 lids in there. That can mess with your seal. All right, so we'll be back when I've got this all jarred up. Okay, I've got 7 quarts in here, or 1 liter bottles, and 7 quarts in here. And I'm going to put these lids on. And you know the drill, folks. As soon as they start to vent a steady stream of steam, I will time them for 10 minutes to vent the steam from the canners. Don't skip this step, folks. I know it may seem like you're afraid you're going to boil all the water away, but you're not. This pushes the air out of the canner so that when you put the weight on, it creates a high pressure vacuum to seal your jars. All right, so we'll be back when these are venting a steady stream of steam. And we still have a full stock pot to can as well. So I am going to predict at least 20 jars, 18 to 20 quarts. Okay, so this has been venting a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to put my 10-pound weight on, and as soon as this comes to a vigorous jiggle, I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes. It's for vegetable broth, it's 20 minutes for pints, 25 minutes for quarts. And there is our first vigorous jiggle. So now I'm going to hit my timer and I'm going to turn this down to just between medium and maximum. And I'm going to set my timer has been set for 25 minutes. Okay. Now these are still hot, but the bobble is down and the weight is fine. But always open it away from you folks, because there is going to be steam. Oh, such beautiful broth. I'll be back when I've unloaded both these canners and I've finished canning this. And there it is, folks. 21 quarts of the most delicious broth I have ever made that didn't have meat in it. This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, don't throw out the vegetable trimmings. Wash them, freeze them, make broth. That will add so much more nutrition to your pantry-ready meals. Take care, God bless.